If you want to survive this island, you're going to need more than that knife.
Hey guys, Higton from Eurogamer here. Now, it's no secret that I'm a massive fan of Far Cry 3, and with rumours of an 80s-looking Far Cry 3 spin-off for the Xbox Live Arcade called Blood Dragon circulating, the BAFTA Video Game Awards seemed like as good a place as any to try and force some brand new information about new DLCs for Far Cry 3, the future of VARS, and Far Cry 4 on next-gen consoles out of Jeffrey Yohalem, the game's lead writer. But first, I asked him a nice, easy question to lure him into a false sense of security.
One of the best things about Far Cry 3 is the story and the characters. How much of the characterization of characters like Vars and Jason Brody was written, and how much was improvised?
Most of it was actually written except for Voss. Voss is a case study in improvisation and development where we interfaced with the actor directly and created the character. And it was a couple of brilliant people, Shelley Johnson and Robert Darrell Purdy, who really made that character with Michael Mando. So that was phenomenal. Otherwise, all the characters in the game were created by us. And then the actor, we decided who was going to play characters, and it was while I was writing, and I adapted what I was writing to what the character, what the actor was performing, and so kind of the actor's voice. And that's been my philosophy about writing games in its entirety. Like with the gameplay is an actor. And so if the game design team is great at creating a certain kind of gameplay, you don't go, oh, you can't do that because the story is not about that. We're doing a love story, you can't do a game about killing. No. My opinion, the writer's job is to look at what the actor does best and go, what can I say on multiple levels about this that's interesting and deep? And so I hope that we accomplish that with Far Cry 3, but you have to play to strengths. It's like you have an actor who does great close-ups, you do close-ups. You don't go, oh, we're not doing any close-ups because I didn't plan for them. So and then that makes the story the whole game instead of cutscene game. Far Cry 3, every moment that you're doing anything on that island is part of the story of that game. All the database entries, you actually find out a huge secret about one of the character's pasts through the database entries. And when you're off skinning something, it's like the player has taken Jason away from his friends and Jason reacts to that. And so the game is about the player's psychology. It's a Rorschach. Again, the menu design and the start screen design are not accidental. It's telling the player this game is going to be analyzing who you are.
So one of the biggest feedbacks my viewers have had is that they loved Vars and they were very, very disappointed that he died so early on in the game. Would there be any chance of any kind of return of Vars, maybe a prequel, maybe DLC? Is there anything you can...
I can't talk about it, but it was essential that he died where he did because the game is about removing gameplay mechanisms. So most games create an evil villain who you then spend the whole game trying to kill, and then you kill at the end of the game. In this case, Boss had to go because the player, it's a deconstruction of games. So once Boss is gone, the revenge fantasy is gone, and then the player has to examine why they keep playing. So when Boss dies, you also have found all of your friends, and you cover up your tattoos to go visit Hoyt. So the three mechanisms which keep the player engaged in the game are removed. And so the point was to say, why are you still playing?
Obviously, Far Cry 2 didn't do as well. Far Cry 3, massive. Means there's got to be a Far Cry 4 in the works. Would you like to see Far Cry 4 possibly on a next-gen console? Do you think it would work?
I can't talk about any of this. I mean, it's going to be what it is, and you'll see what happens.
Okay. What would you like Far Cry 4 to be? Is there anything, any dream that you could have?
I mean, to me, we said what we wanted to say about the gameplay system that revolves around shooting, and so you'll have to wait and see if there's more.
PlayStation 3 have had some exclusive content in the form of the co-op missions. Is there any DLC planned or any story-based missions?
I can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. Rumored Dinosaur Island. Would you like to see a Dinosaur Island?
I really can't talk about any of it.
And then he left me. None the wiser on specific details, but pretty much confident from what he said that Far Cry 4 is already in production. And why shouldn't it be? Far Cry 3 was massive, and if Ubisoft's one-every-year approach with the Assassin's Creed series is anything to go by, I think the chances of seeing more Far Cry, and maybe even more VARS in the near future, are pretty high. Don't forget to subscribe to Eurogamer for more exclusive interviews and Far Cry information as soon as I manage to pry it out of the mouths of the developers. See ya!
I suggest that you come back for a taste later. You won't regret it.